Everybody, I want to talk about designing your life on your terms and creating the life that you want now. Oftentimes, when I work with and coach with people, they're living their life based on a framework of what other people around them want them to live, or what other people have told them they should live, or they get their validation from what other people say is the right thing for them. And then they're relying on other people to tell them that, meaning they don't trust themselves enough to know what's best for their life. And so they rely on outside influences to design their life. And by doing this, they're living by the default setting. They're living by the environmental factors that are coming in their life. And then simultaneously working on making sure that they can control everything around them. When we do this, we are choosing a life that is less than what we were made for. We are choosing to live a life based on somebody else's terms. We are choosing to live a life based on what society says, based on what maybe, a friend or a family says, and we're not designing our life the way that serves us best. Designing your life is not about controlling other people to get them to act the way that you want so that you can live the life that you want, by the way. And a lot of people confuse designing their life with, well, if only I could learn to control other people better, then I could design my life. And we have to learn these two factors. One, you can't control other people, and other people do not have the power or the ability to control you unless you have given them that power. And when you take that back, when you learn to trust yourself, when you learn to keep the promises that you make to yourself, when you learn to hold yourself more accountable than you hold anybody else or expect anybody else to hold you, you can design your life. And this includes making sure that your no means no, your yes means yes, being able to set boundaries where you need to, and opening the door up to relationship where it helps. But oftentimes when we have experiences in our life, when we have times and things that happen to us, it becomes very hard to do this because we're filtering what it means to design our life through our experience. We're filtering our choices through those past experiences, and what comes out the end is what we have right now. What comes out the end is what we're experiencing, and there's a limit and a plateau based on the experience because we believe that this is all there is. This is all that we can get. And so as long as I can just make it through to the end of the day or make it through to the end of the week, it's Friday now. Maybe some of you are looking forward to the weekend, which is totally fine. But when you're living for the weekend and you're living for the next thing or some far off thing in the future that you don't have right now, you're living your life based on just what comes at you. You're not being present in the present moment. Now, how does this tie into being present, expecting the best, hoping, and not trying to cause things to happen, not trying to control things? Well, the fact is you take ownership over the fact that you can only control one person, yourself. You control your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions to things as they come in. How you react is up to you, and how you're choosing to react to every situation dictates how you design your life. It creates the life that you have. And so are you living your life based on just being reactive to what comes at you, being reactive to what you feel each day? Or are you choosing, you know what, I feel that way, but I'm going to choose to design my life and create it the way that I want. I'm going to choose to go after this thing. I'm going to start to speak and make a video, even though maybe I was judged or mistreated in the past when I've said certain things. Maybe I'm going to speak up on something. Maybe I'm going to put myself out there in a certain way and do something that's scary. Maybe I'm going to start listening to a podcast, or maybe even though I've never been able to complete a book that I've started in the past, I'm going to start reading books that are going to help me grow. Maybe I'm going to start learning what it takes to get to the next level. Maybe I'm going to grow in a skill and stop making excuses for why I am where I am today and start to design my life on my terms. We all come up with reasons why we can't design our life on our terms and that we're living based on what is handed to us. Listen, the fact of the matter is this: you cannot control everything around you. We have this fear of when we lose control that we're going to experience pain or punishment or what we don't want, and we're worried about what might happen if we lose control. And so we're constantly working and living in a structure of trying to design and control our life and live based on perfectionism, trying to do everything perfect. The fact of the matter is you can't do anything perfect. But when we put all of our energy and our effort towards trying to make sure everything is perfect, we're living our life based on what's thrown at us instead of designing our life in the way that is on our terms that works for us. When we live with discipline and excellence, this is not about perfectionism. This is not about making sure that you are safe or comfortable or everything goes exactly the way that you want it. Designing your life is not that. Designing your life is saying, no matter what comes, I am going to choose how I react, how I respond, where I go, who I talk to, what my no is, what my yes is, what I say yes to, what I say no to, what I listen to, what voices get to speak into my life. What choices I make are based on my design and not what other people say I should do or even what I feel that I should do. This unattainable vision of perfection that we feel and believe that one day we will get there. And until we get there, we're striving and struggling in what we have right now. The choice is yours to design your life, to start to choose what you're going to do today, to choose how you're going to react to what comes up, to choose where you're going to put your energy, where you're going to put your focus. Are you going to put your focus on what you can't change, what you can't fix, and try to force it to be fixed? And if it's not the way that you exactly want it, your whole day is messed up. Doing that is giving up the power of the design of your life to everything that goes on around you and choosing to let everything else create your life without you being at the driver's seat. You are taking a back seat on your life by letting what comes at you choose and define your reactions, your emotions, your choices. It's time to get back into the driver's seat. It's time to get back into the game and start to design your life on your terms. This is not about control. This is not about trying to make sure that everything goes exactly the way that you want. When we're focused on control and what's outside of control, we're letting our fear rule us. We're letting the fear of what might happen dictate the choices that we will make. And fear manifests in the sneakiest way of all, trying to control everything around us. Designing your life on your terms and controlling are opposed to each other. They are not connected in any way. When we give up the need for control, when we give up the need to know everything, when we give up the need for everything to be certain, when we give up the need to make sure that nothing goes in a way that makes us feel unsafe, and we just start rolling with it and start moving forward towards our goals, and come what may, we are then designing our life. When we don't let the environmental factors dictate our reactions, our choices, our emotions, when we don't let what other people say about us, what they might say, what they might do, define our choices, and let our fear run rampant and our overthinking of what might happen or what coulda, shoulda, woulda, and maybe trying to protect and defend ourselves from potential scenarios. That's not helping us, and that's not designing your life. That's living your life based on default, and yet I see so many people doing that. So many people living on the default setting of their life. It's time to learn to design your life on your terms. Choose what you're going to do. And it starts with taking ownership. Taking ownership over your choices, your emotions, your reactions, your decisions in every single situation that you're in. And keep moving forward towards your goals. Great life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.